That brings me to another aspect of the CNC, which is a bit of a problem. When you start with a guitar, you don't just grab a hunk of wood and toss it in a machine, which is what 90%.
You don't go down to Home Depot and just grab some wood.
No, it doesn't work that way. There are many pieces of wood
you know,
that should never be a guitar.
Pressure treated ground no
pressure treated, oh boy. Whee.
I mean, you get the ground contact stuff, so
No.
you know it lasts.
No.
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 That's not going to make it.
I prefer
Cedar. How about a cedar body?
I'd rather. You know what? I got nothing against cedar. Not a thing.
Okay, right.
Western red cedar tops are great for acoustic guitars. We use them all the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't have any problems using aromatic cedar, but you're going to have a hard time keeping a finish on it.
Yeah, definitely. Are you going to have to spray it every year?
Yeah. Well, you won't have any moths in your case.
No.
But that's that's another issue with the CNC machine. The Luthier is the one who makes the instrument.
Yes.
But it's up to the Luthier, and this is what kills me. When I was at that big place with a G on it, you got CNC machines, and they'll back up a load of wood, 20,000 board feet of wood, and they'll chunk it on the machine early in the morning, and by lunch it's all parts.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of that wood, you can pretty much statistically guarantee it was not meant to be a guitar.
Yeah.
And that may be some of where their 17% scrap rate figures in. Who knows?
Could be.
But my attitude is why didn't somebody with an ear listen to that wood first and say, yeah, this one, that one, no. Where's the reject?
Yeah, where's the buyer?
I never saw one.
There's no buyer. There's no buyer out there going through the wood piles.
Well, there should be.
Yeah, but I'm just saying there's.
But that buyer's not on the ground. He's on the phone.
But shouldn't he be on the ground?
Yeah, that's my attitude. He should be on the ground. He should be looking at that wood.
I mean, buyers
should fly out
like in retail and you know, not retail, but in clothing, and they go out, they feel the fabrics. They're like, yeah, okay, this is
absolutely.
Send me a sample. Okay, I'll take all this.
Right.
And when it comes in, they go through and they go, no, that's no good. That's no good. So that is
what they've been doing, what they have been doing that I know of, is that some companies, not every company, but some companies will send out people who are looking for specialty woods, figured woods, and things that are very pretty.
Yeah.
Okay? Oh. Or they're looking for things that meet their specifications, whatever that spec might be for a specific model of guitar. But their production stuff, nah. Yeah. Nah. Production stuff.
I mean, that kill. I mean, there's a lot of
20,000 board feet of mahogany. Send it.
Yeah.
You know, good enough.
Yes.
And like I say, it all becomes a guitar part by lunch.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's not Lutherie. That's manufacturing widgets. They really don't know the difference. I mean, they don't even think about them as guitars up there in the factory. They talk about them as SKU numbers.
They don't. They don't. So so CNC, we've offended all the CNC people today. Well, maybe not offended, but.
Well, I don't think
it's a good debate. It's a great debate, and that's what it is. There's nothing wrong with the CNC, but you got to know what you're dealing
with the fact that a CNC machine cannot put together a guitar, and it cannot listen to the wood, and it cannot tone tap it, and even if they don't believe in tone tapping, which I think is a big mistake, because wood all sounds different, and having put the same set of pickups in multiple guitars and different woods, I can absolutely tell you they do not sound the same, even with the same pickups. Okay, every wood has its own resonant frequency. It has its own sustain, and it's a big mistake. It's a big mistake to ignore those facts.
Yeah.
There's a big difference, because when you have been lucky enough to build what I call a lightning strike guitar.
Yeah, and we've covered that one too. Yeah.
You know, they're not all guitars are created equal. I don't care what the wood is. I don't care if you've got perfect design specifications or a CNC cut it to the last 10,000th of an inch. It's not going to sound the same as its brother.
Yeah, you built the Wonder Boy.
Accidents occur, you know. It's like Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. You don't try to figure it out. You just stand back and appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a key. That's a key. It just
if you're fortunate enough to actually get a hold of something that sounds like $1 million, you don't argue with the price tag. You just buy it.
Yeah,
and you take it home. You know. That's biblical, actually. You know, when the merchant found a pearl of great price, he went and sold everything he had so he could buy it.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's the craftsman. The craftsman's got to be running. The CNC machine does not make the luthier.
No, not at all. The luthier makes the instrument. The CNC is just a tool.
Yeah.
And hopefully it can help.
Well, it's
interesting. It still starts with the guy listening to the wood. Like I said.
Okay, CNC, which way do you want to go?
Well, the CNC is really good for doing certain things tirelessly. That's its really big advantage. It just never gets tired.
Right. So you can use the CNC machine, like you said, parts.
And it can do
Right?
things. Yeah, it
So
can
if
do
you-
things very consistently.
It can't. So okay. So is it usable in your shop, your luthier shop?
I think it is usable, but I would definitely like, for example, my Gang Arbor fret saw.
Yes.
Some people will use a CNC to
Do the frets.
mill the fret slots. I'm not a big fan of that because it can take you 4 or 5 hours to do, well, as fast as about an hour is the fastest I've ever seen, to cut fret slots with a CNC machine, because it's
Now,
a
why
it's a
is that?
router. It's a
Oh, 'cause
router.
it's-
It's going to nibble across there just as smooth as it can, then come over to the next one and nibble across, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So it takes
Where
a long
yours
time
is
to
going to
do
go.
20.
Rip, rip,
Yeah,
rip.
mine's going to go, and they're exactly spaced the same way every single time.
There's no glitches.
It's not possible. For
There's
it to glitch.
there's no truss rod, if you will, for it to go across and skip a tooth.
Right.
But there's no teeth to
No
wear
teeth
out.
involved, yeah, because it's just going. All of them are going through at one time. You got 26 blades on a single arbor, all cutting the same board at the same time, all perfectly spaced out on the arbor.
Yeah.
Can't. There's no way. My 100th board and my first board are going to match.
Yeah, and you have right next to it is your other machine where you can do a flat or a conical
Radius, yeah.
radius.
Yeah. And see,
Alright.
now I'm not saying that a CNC.
Okay,
can't
so where
But
you
my-
say,
I
where am
can
I saving
absolutely-
time with one of these
Okay,
things?
well that's where it's interesting. Carving a neck. If you think about this shape, the shape of a neck.
This, yes.
That's
Yeah.
that shape.
Mhm.
And you think about, okay, so if I laid this piece of wood down just like this on the machine, and then I had the machine come over here and it started cutting out and and doing all this shaping
Yeah.
and stuff, and it could run up this way and run up that way and this way. It can do that a lot faster than I could do that because it's carving the entire neck at one shot.
Mm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, there is a debate, and I don't know how many people want to go there, but
Let's find out.
there are some luthiers who have the attitude of when you build a neck, you would like to construct the neck with the idea of that you're constantly flattening the neck. You want this surface to be as flat as possible, and we know that wood wants to move. And when you remove wood on the back, it'll say this block is going to be yay thick minimum, right? Okay, so it's going to be that thick. You remove that much wood to get down to here, and that wood up front's going to want to move because you relieved all that stress off of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
So the idea is that when you do this, whatever you take off here, you try to take off something up front.
So you're trying to come from both sides to get to a.
Yeah, to a happy medium in the middle, so that the wood is not because
There's an
no way around
argument
it.
around that.
There sure is. There sure is. There are people
Who
who
say that's BS or
no, it's not BS. There's the problem is that the outside of a block of wood is going to have a different moisture content than the
sure?
inside block.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
So if you remove some, what happens to the inside fresh wood you just exposed to the air?
it starts
It
dry.
starts drying. So what does it do when wood dries? It shrinks.
It shrinks and it pulls.
Right. So that's why many good luthiers have this attitude of, okay, when I remove this much wood, I want to be sure that the front face is flat again because that's my reference point. I don't ever want to lose
You
my
gotta pull
flat
wood,
reference.
flatten, pull wood, flatten. But you got to do it over time, right? I mean, it doesn't.
You do.
You don't open it up and then it shrinks
factory
immediately. It's
doesn't
not like
have
a rubber
time.
band.
Factory doesn't have time for that. They bingo bango done out.
Would
whereas a luthier
should
will
you
take his
kiln
time.
dry the wood? Is that bad?
Well, you
Beforehand, or-
you would like to kill dry it maybe as a start point, but that's not your end point.
Yeah.
You might want to have what I like to do is start with kill dried wood.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll machine it to a certain point, and then we let it rest. You know,
Pressure treated. Just kidding.
resting
kidding.
and pressure treating is two different things.
I'm kidding. I'm
But if
kidding.
it rests on a shelf in a semi form, it's not complete, but it's semi cut into a guitar. It's resting on a shelf for 5 or 6 years. It's acclimating to the shop. It's losing and
Sure it is.
It's losing its moisture, but the moisture that's inside is now redistributing.
Sure.
Okay.
Mhm.
All of that makes for a more stable piece of wood. That's what you want. That's your goal.
Yeah.
Most stable.
Oh yeah.
Most stable piece of wood you can
That's
get.
why you don't take it home and then let the humidity fluctuate wildly.
Well, this is why I'm saying
Over
if you
years.
get a brand new 2-inch thick board, 7 inches wide, and you pull that off a truck, at 7 a.m. in the morning, and you toss it through a CNC machine, it looks like this. And by 12 noon, how much acclimation do you think this thing got?
None.
Nothing.
None.
So Gibson, in order to combat that issue, invested a massive amount of money in a vacuum kiln. Okay, because water boils at very low temperature
in a vacuum.
Well, that's how the human animal is.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so again, what am I using the CNC machine for?
Well, again,
it seems like I could use it for that, but I also still have to know what I'm doing.
Okay. Well,
right?
let's say that we're.
Can I throw some wood on there and go out and do all these important, super cool luthier craftsman type things, and I go, cool, all my headstocks are done. Boom, throw them on here, or
yes, you can. There's a lot of things that you can do with a CNC machine that you cannot do by hand, or really,
you can,
really
but it's much more efficient,
right?
And it's not going to affect the craftsmanship of this massively incredible Stradivarius type guitar maker.
If you think about a carver, and you say, "Oh, wow, that's a beautiful carving," and that guy must have a steady hand.
Yeah.
Well, there's no steadier hand in a CNC.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, it can move at any rate you program it to.
I watched a video of a guy in Europe operate on a banana in the United States through his computer.
Yeah.
Just precisely super cool to see that type of stuff. So you could have the world's best heart surgeon in Switzerland operating on you in Chattanooga.
That's the beauty of what a computer can do.
That's bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's more of a real time issue.
Yeah.
And in a situation where that real time kind of counts.
Yeah.
Okay. Musical instruments, in my personal opinion, don't need to be mass produced.
Well,
how many
okay,
guitars,
now you're getting into a different argument.
I agree.
Yes.
How many guitars does the world need?
In my opinion, enough so that everybody who wants to play does.
Right.
Because, hey,
but
we should all come together in love and music. That's my goal.
What do we have right now?
Too many guitars.
I think we do. I think we have more guitars than we'll ever have players.
There's 5 right here that need a home and should have them because they're awesome
absolutely.
guitars. I mean,
Sure
there's 5, well, there's 6, 7. Wait, no, that's 8, 9.
There's 15 on the wall total.
And they're all great. And that one will be. It's not finished yet, but yes, they're all awesome. They should be somewhere.
Well, I've always had the attitude that every guitar will filter down to its proper owner.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense, and it will.
Yeah,
they will. I mean, and that's
who loves that guitar it'll end up in his hands and it will never leave.
God, we get into some deep bullshit sometime, man. You are just.
Dude, we're gonna need some waiters.
You're like freaking Play-Doh.
Play-Doh or
Play-Doh? Yeah, that's what I meant. I meant Play-Doh. Play-Doh. That's
one's a Greek philosopher, the other's just a bunch of dough.
Just silly.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
Shit. But
good.
yeah, no, okay, so